Iowa covered the short 3.5 number. Chip told you to take Iowa earlier on CBS Sports HQ, and Iowa just absolutely crushes Indiana. Riley Moss with 2 pick sixes. Michael Penix throws 3 interceptions. Consider he had 4 all of last season in 6 games before unfortunately tearing his ACL his first game back. And the first pick six necessarily wasn't his fault, deflected and then returned for the touchdown. B-Mac, your reaction to how this game played out as Iowa just dominated from start to finish?
Yo, Iowa jumped on Indiana, and Indiana could not get them off of them. Like you said, the first pick was not Michael Penix Jr.'s fault, but he continued to throw in the wrong direction. And Riley Moss is my new favorite cornerback. Man, you talk about a guy that can read that 3-step read like the best of them, not to mention his ball skills. He's always where he needs to be. And an old man once told me, when you talk about getting interceptions, they come in bunches. And in today's matchup, they came in bunches for Mr. Riley Moss. I got to continue to watch him throughout the course of the year. Not just him, but the Hawkeyes defense. I mean, this is a defense that they swarm the football. You ever seen some ants on street crumbs? Yep. When a street crumb is on the ground and ants get on top of it, you got 1 ant, 2 ant, 3 ant, 30, 40, 50. That's how they swarm the football. When you play that street crumb type of defense, good things will happen. And it happened for the Hawkeyes. I just don't know how good the offense is because they didn't have to do anything today because they just rode the coattail of their defense. But when you can play defense like this, especially in today's college football game, you will have a shot. And I got to continue to monitor this team defensively and Mr. Riley Moss because he was my cornerback of the day. 2 pick sixes. Have your say a day, kid. That's how you say hi, kid?
Yes,
have
sir.
Have yourself a day.
Yes, I like that. Yeah, the senior, right? I mean, look. We've seen some good defensive backs. We've seen some good defensive backs at Iowa. I mean, my guy Micah Hyde playing for Buffalo. I mean, so like They produce players, Chip.
Yeah, I'm continuing to monitor, and I think that is a great way for BMAC to say it because I did not learn much about this Iowa offense at all. Tyler Goodson did a very good job of running the ball, but obviously the confidence that they have in the passing game isn't always there if we're going to take Spencer Petras off the field and let Tyler Goodson go and run a lot of Wildcat. It was something that we saw last year. And, granted, it worked out very well and you've got a great runner there, but this Iowa defense is like top 5, top 10 in the country looking the way that they played against Indiana. I'm going back to the spreadsheets. I'm going back to the notes. I'm crunching the numbers. I'm going to be reevaluating really all through the week because either Iowa is truly elite and maybe jumping ahead of Wisconsin in the pecking order in the Big Ten West, given what we saw from the Badgers, not really modernizing their offense with Graham Mertz in a way that I think was the offseason storyline. But that Iowa defense, as strong as it is, Iowa's offense really might not need to do a lot. If all they have to do is score 24 points to win games, I think that's something that's going to be they can be capable of, especially if they're getting touchdowns from the defense as well. So remember that you do have 2 pick sixes, right, when we're trying to factor this in and we're trying to grade Iowa's offense. But Iowa as a team can win this division, and I come out of this weekend more confident in Iowa, less confident in Wisconsin, and that's the big storyline from this game. Indiana, tough sight. I don't think you're going to be a top 3 team in the division, quite like I thought at the beginning of the season. But for the Hawkeyes, now all of a sudden you're a Big Ten championship contender.
Yeah, and a big test next week on the road against rival Iowa State. So certainly we will be monitoring that game to see what Riley Moss does in a big-time matchup against the rivals of Iowa State. Chip Patterson, Bryant McFadden, breaking it down for us here on CBS Sports HQ. Men, thank you very much. Have a day. Have a day. And then, hey, check out their podcast. Great content from Chip Patterson and his crew, a cavalcade of stars. In-depth analysis throughout the season, and then a fan favorite, the Locks Pod, where they give you their picks against the spread. Really awesome stuff. So check out Cover 3 Podcast, download and subscribe that, and then BMAC and Patrick Peterson, all things covered. Phenomenal content. Download and follow today.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.